in the mood for love. You're in the mood to dance. You're in the mood for a little romance. You're in the mood for love. I see you pressed those pants. I see you styled them.
Hi YouTube, this is Lacey again. I couldn't find my ultrasound pictures yet, but I will. I know they're around here somewhere, and we've been doing a lot of cleaning and organizing, so I'm sure they're just tucked away somewhere and I haven't found them. But I did want to share with you my fertility charts and my journal that I was keeping. I haven't been keeping up with it now in a couple months because I decided I was going to try the whole stop stressing about it. You know, you think about it too much, all this stuff. So I kind of, when I was taking the metformin, I kind of threw it out the window because I had also heard that taking the medications can give you kind of false symptoms and false information. So I just figured, okay, it's a good time to stop stressing about taking my temperatures and charting every little thing and all of that. So, but I do have some of my original charts that I first started with, and if you're considering doing charting, I can give you maybe some ideas to help you get started. So this is my chart, my book that I created. You can see I just kind of cut some pictures out. I just cut some things out, like I had these right here. I just drew that on a piece of paper, I believe. Yeah, and then these things I just cut right off the box from the ovulation predictor kits. This here as well. And then I just kind of created my own little graph here. And pregnancy tests, ovulation kits, yeah, whatever. And then it says my fertility charts and journal. Okay, so when you open it, I pretty much printed out, let's see if you can see that, the checklist for preconception checkup questions. I printed it up off of, I think, bump.com, which is a great website. It has a whole section for people who are trying to conceive. It's not just for people who are currently pregnant. So they do answer a lot of questions on there. They do surveys. They have things where you can go on and comment and hear other people's thoughts and ideas. They talk about everything. So I highly recommend going to thebump.com if you haven't already done that. So anyways, the preconception checkup questions to ask your doctor, just some of them are, is your weight okay, which is really important with PCOS because weight does play a big role in whether or not you're regular, and if you're ovulating, because even 5, 10, 15 pounds can make a big difference for your body. So it's important to ask your doctor. You know, can they recommend a prenatal vitamin? Because most doctors, especially if you're having fertility issues, will recommend taking prenatal vitamins prior to even getting pregnant, because it helps get your body in the prime condition in the event that you do get pregnant. What kind of diet should I eat? Are all my immunizations up to date? Are there any health problems or conditions I should take care of before trying to conceive? Obviously, this is a given for people like me who have PCOS, because I need to get that under control, otherwise getting pregnant is going to be really difficult. Alright, there's more on there, but they have lists like that all over the internet. Okay, so the other website that I use a lot, or I was using when I was doing charting, was fertilityfriend.com, which for some of you that are out there that have already gone through your trying to conceive journey, or have been going through it for a long time and still are, probably already know about this website. But this right now is for those women and men out there who are just starting to go through the journey and might not have this information. So, on fertilityfriend.com, it's a way to digitally, on the computer, track your basal body temperature, your cervical mucus, what days and what time of the day you're baby dancing, when Aunt Flo AF starts, what kind of symptoms you were feeling. Were you having cramping or a headache or loss of appetite or whatever? It also lets you document your mood, any medications you're taking, whether or not you took a pregnancy test, what the result was, And then, of course, when you're using ovulation predictor kits, it lets you document whether it came up negative or positive. Okay, so for what I did is I took the top half of my thing and I put cycle 1, and I kind of scrapbooked in this kind of, I leave this area blank until I get to the end of the cycle, and then I make some notes. Any questions that I had, those type of things I kind of put right there, anything that I noticed was different that cycle. And then over here, I just put, this first cycle, what I was finding was that I was getting really light test lines. The control line obviously was really dark, and then the test line, my line, was really, really light, and it was gradually getting darker, but it never got to the same darkness as the control line. So therefore it was still considered a negative, but I was confused. And my question to my doctor was, could it just be that because I have PCOS and my hormones are out of whack, that my body's not producing enough of the LH to give a strong reading, but maybe I am ovulating? And the doctor said, typically that's not how it works. You need to have that certain amount of LH, and that high amount is what gets you to ovulate. So I'm just not making enough, possibly. Okay, so then I put the dates. Sorry, going a little crazy here. I put the dates of my cycle. So as you can see, this was October 24th to 12/3, but I still hadn't had a cycle at this point. This was still no period. This was just, I needed to get a starting point again for the new doctor. Okay, and then on fertilityfriend.com, after you've been charting your cycles, this is what your chart kind of looks like. And as you can see, mine is fluctuating a lot. So yeah, so pretty much along here is your temperature marks, like 96.0 up to 97.8. So as you can see, your basal body temperatures, which you need to take with a special thermometer, while you're pretty much in a very sleepy state, you take that in the morning. Like before you even get out of bed, you keep your thermometer next to the bed, and while you're half asleep, you stick the thermometer in your mouth and you wait for the reading to come. Then you document that number, and you're supposed to try to do it at the same time every day. Okay, down here in the blue is where you can record your cervical mucus, your whether or not you took a pregnancy test, your ovulation predictor kits or OPKs, and then I don't really know what the stats are for, your mood, and then your energy level. And then all these other ones, all these other colors, all these other colors here are things that I personally added in. They're like symptoms that maybe I feel throughout the month. So for me, they were skin breakout, nausea, gassy, high stress, fatigue, sleep deprived, having a feeling of being constipated, having a backache, increased sex drive, and headaches. So pretty much you just pick what things relate to you, and then it'll automatically put them there on your chart where it's visible for you, and if you print them, you can take them to your doctor. On the top of the chart, it shows you the actual date of the month. So this would be, it was Sunday, October 24th, and then it continues on through as long as your cycle is. And then down here, dang it, sorry, it's backwards. It's like a mirror, so I'm getting confused. Okay, so over here, these numbers say, it says day, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way for how many days your cycle was. So you don't get confused. You know that, the end of your cycle was cycle day 41. So I documented that first cycle was 41 days, even though it was more than that. So my first official, and then you can print it out like this too. I don't know why I did this. I was being a little obsessive about it. But anyways, that's just like goes through each day of your cycle and shows it all the same information, just documented in a different way. So I don't know why I did that. Like I said, I was being obsessive. So for cycle 1, I also kept a journal, and it's right there. You could see that. And, I just wrote things or whatever. I said at the beginning of cycle 1, I did not know about charting basal body temperatures. All I was doing was tracking ovulation with the first response ovulation predictor kit. So that's why you only saw like a little chunk of temperatures and the chart going up and down, because I didn't even know about basal body temperatures at that point. Okay, so I also wrote that due to a bout of nausea from 11:28 to 12:02 in the AM, I took a home pregnancy test, which came back negative, which I also documented on my chart. So, and then on the other side of the journal, I documented questions that I wanted to ask my doctor. So I wrote, no ovulation was detected. When can I try Clomid? Do I have PCOS? Because at that point I hadn't been technically diagnosed with it. You know, I wanted to ask what my husband could be doing to try to increase our possibility of getting pregnant. I wanted to know if it was okay to change my prenatal vitamin because I was feeling really nauseous, and the pharmacist told me it could have been that I had too much iron. So if you keep getting false symptoms that you think you're pregnant because you're getting nauseous, you might want to check that out if you're taking prenatal vitamins. And I now take these right here, the Vitafusion prenatal gummy vitamins. They have no iron. So if your iron levels are fine and you're feeling nauseous and you've been taking prenatals, most regular prenatals do have iron, because once you're pregnant, you might need to be taking iron. Okay, cycle number 2 we're going to look at here is a complete chart. This will give you a better idea of what's happening. See how crazy? Crazy, crazy temperatures are all over the place. And you can see I was documenting my symptoms much better throughout that whole cycle. If you look up here, I think it's over here. I'm confused. Okay. Over here, the red lines right there, the boxes that are marked with red, those are the days of that I was on my Aunt Flo, my period, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so you mark that. You can document if it's a light flow, medium flow, heavy flow, whatever it is. You can document all of that. So it's really, 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 really great. It's a great way to keep track, because I'm telling you, it gets so hard for me to remember what happened when, how long ago was it really. Sometimes I think it was 3 weeks ago and it was only a week, and I'm really bad about that. So this website is great. I really, really recommend it. So. Alright, so that was, I think when I stopped, I did 2 cycles of printing. I've actually done more on the website. But my doctors, some doctors really, really, really love it and love you to bring in your charts and share with them and show them what you've done. But some don't really care, and my first doctor that I had didn't seem to really have a lot of interest. But now that I'm going to the fertility clinic, I think I might start doing it again, because I think that the fertility clinic would probably like to see some of my stuff. So I'm probably going to start it again. It was a lot of work doing that every day, but it's worth it, right? Alright, so then the very last page is just a getting pregnant checklist. Some basic, everybody tells you to do it, you know, things about get off the birth control pill. Really, people? You need to know to get off the birth control pill if you want to get pregnant? You know, so, whatever. I think that's about all I have for you. I'll keep looking for the ultrasound pictures. Thanks.
You're in the mood for love. You're in the mood